Hello there, Tarot Tube. It is a lovely spring Saturday, and I was outside gardening, and the letter carrier came and brought me a box, and I knew that this was what was inside. So I just washed my hands real quick and said, I gotta unbox this immediately. So I got these two decks. I thought they would pair nicely. And now we're going to find out how they look together. I'm not going to be able to use them this month very much because it's AAPI month, and I'm really working with all my decks that were created or illustrated by AAPI folks. But I had to look at it and share it with you right away. So the tarot is The Tarot of the Witch's Garden by Sasha Graham and Natasha Ilinsik, I believe. So I feel like it's going to have a lot of the same kind of vibes as The Enchanted Forest by Linnea Weatherstone, but I think it's going to be different enough that I'll be glad to have it. I hope. And then there's the Solitary Witch Oracle. And this is Lucy Cavendish. This one is illustrated by Lady Victoria. So this is a Blue Angel deck, I think. Yes, Blue Angel. Yes, Blue Angel. And this one is Llewellyn. So let's take a look at the Solitary Witch first. Let's make sure I've got this centered up nicely. Maybe go in a little closer. Okay, there we go. All right. So it's the typical Blue Angel deck situation. You've got this two-piece box with the book and the deck that's much smaller than the box, but that's how Blue Angel does it, y'all. And let's just take a look at these, and then I think what we'll do is maybe try to do a little give you a little reading at the end. So stick around. If you like unboxings, you like seeing new decks and pairings, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you'll know. All right, look at this. Okay, I'm liking the artwork already. And it's interesting, you can all see the texture of the painting. Here's the back, nice pentagram. Oh no, I already greased it up with my lotion hands. Okay, so the first card is Wishes. And then we have her herb garden. The Beltane lover. That's interesting thought. Look closer, she is not lonely. The little owl. I feel like this has sort of a soft, comforting feeling. I'm liking these black borders that are just on the sides. I don't think I have a deck like this, and this ornamentation on the sides, different colors. This is lovely. The comforts of friendship. She sleeps with the stars. The dance of water. So it's interesting that they're calling this the Solitary Witch Oracle, but you'll notice that the Solitary Witch is having interactions with other people from time to time. So the Healing Tree of Litha. Awesome. So we've got some tie-ins to different seasons. Yule's Night. The Next Journey Beckons. This is me, y'all. The witch shows her daughter the moon. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, this really touches my heart here. Her knowledge runs deep. The 13th, I'm just going to check. You know, I think maybe I need to move this over just a little bit. Okay, thanks for patience, y'all. Especially since I'm not really much of an editor. This, you know what, this is beautiful. It has got dark backgrounds, but there's a lot of color in this. I think I'll look and see if it has any information about the art when we're done with this walkthrough. Self-initiation. Oh, look at that. See the little floating candles? Yeah, this little floating candles in this bird bath. Little cat. There's so many details to look at. I think that this would be a nice one for intuitive readings. Sweet Osara Harvest, and look, you can see the constellations. Was she once a Selkie? Good question to ask. There are other conversations. Nice, these two. I wonder if there are others that have this window imagery. Her Book of Shadows. The Gathering. The Maiden and the Embolic Lamb. So I was hoping that this would be maybe a little bit, help me with my path. And I feel like these cards are beckoning to some journaling work, some path working activities, magical manifestation. So I'm already feeling good about this. I love that we've got the 3 goddesses there. Spells from the Hearth. It's very romantic and fairy tale-ish, which I think appeals to a lot of us, sort of our fantasy ideas sometimes. Not consistently, but there's a part of it that appeals to that fantasy witch attraction. I think some of us have. Ancestors and Apples. All right, that is a very interesting pair. I look forward to seeing what that's all about. Shall we? 25, Ancestors and Apples. Okay, so the book is kind of thin paper. It's got, as you can see, this kind of parchment color. And it seems like they've pulled a black and white version of the card into. So that's good. That helps you if you... All right, let's see. I don't understand this pair, so... Oh, as sowing approaches, she gathers the apples for... Okay, now I get it. It's about a period of time. Deceased loved ones, gratitude for the past, memories, visions, ancestral wisdom, DNA, family, blood, traditions, inheritance. Okay. Oh, all right. And so these are meant to be read with upright and reversed meanings. Nearing Skyclad. Not quite, but close. Spells of Rose and Cacao. A Samhain Sending. The Releasement. Oh, I like that. Like, not resentment. I don't think I've ever heard that word before, the releasement. Seems like a ritual. Okay, Maybon is rising, and the change is upon her. She shivers as first one leaf, then another falls. The releasement. I like that. I really like that phrase. When fretful times come, the company of trees, looking a little Van Gogh-ish there. I'm sure the artist did that intentionally. And sometimes she changes. Once upon another time. See, there's that sort of fairy tale fantasy aspect that I was talking about. See the unicorn in there? The Blessing and the Banishing Candle. And we've got some crone energy there, which is nice. A gentle path of inspiration. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like when I get inspiration, it often feels really energetic and sometimes chaotic. So a gentle path. That would be something I might want to explore. The Witch's House. That looks like an Andrew Wyeth painting. We've got some art references in here. Her Little Cauldron. Oh, how sweet. She's sitting in a little tree house. You know, this kind of a tree house. The Milk of the Mother Flows. The Garden of Hallowed Moonlight. Forgiveness and judgment and justice. Okay. A broom of her own. I love this. There's a lot of cultural references in here. Okay. The Moonlit Shy. She is moonlight shy. Intriguing. The changing of her world. She is 1,000 flowers. and transcendent amidst the everyday. So I'm sort of feeling like the solitary rich. I mean, yes, it is about being alone, but I also feel like it's an interior journey work rather than in the world so much. So maybe not so much being alone as those moments when you choose to be solitary. All right, now we'll take a look at the Tarot of Witch's Garden. And okay, so this is the Llewellyn deck. I'll put this to the side. And this one is that big box with the magnetic, right? Magnetic opening. So I think if you have Llewellyn deck, you're familiar with this kind of look. It's got that big book. And then this. So I used to take all of my Llewellyn decks out of these boxes and put them in something smaller so it didn't take up so much room. But now I'm kind of growing fond of these big old boxes. All right, let's get this one. I'm going to put the book to the side and bring this down a bit. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. All right, here we have the Fool. And this feels, I didn't talk about the other cardstock. It's not very bendy. But look, it's got texture. I don't think you can see this, but it has a texture, like a little bit of a linen texture to it. I love the backs. So yeah, so it's not that really glossy thing. Let's see, let's take a look at the dragon deck. Right, I have that one right at hand, so we'll just compare it. So this one's really, I'd call it maybe semi-gloss, the dragon deck, and this one is a little more matte, and I'm trying to sort of turn it so you can see the texture, that linen, you can see that woven texture in there. All right. So not the texture cardstock that I'm used to with Llewellyn. But I hope you're good with the little shadow. I'm just using natural light from my window because it's such a pretty day. All right. Okay, back to it. The Magician, and here the Magician is a female character. The High Priestess also, the Fool is a little on the androgynous side, so I'm not, yeah. Here's the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. So there's our first definitively male figure. And I feel like these colors so far, it's very garden-y. So the title, Secrets of the Witch's Garden, seems really appropriate. We've got a very garden vibe with the artwork. The Hierophant. Now that's an unusual, and I like it, version of the Hierophant. It's like Hansel and Gretel, except the witch is good. Here are the Lovers. The Chariot, and look at this. The Chariot has got a pan. Is that pan in there? And all this food. It's almost like a cornucopia. Strength. Oh, a whole, so it's a bear and cubs. The Hermit. We've got a good amount of diversity in this deck. It's leaning heavily feminine, which I suppose shouldn't be surprising since it's called The Secrets of the Witch's Garden. And here's the Wheel of Fortune. Lovely. The Hanged Woman. Oh my goodness. This death card may actually be one of my favorite death cards I've ever seen. I'm telling myself that is not the Whomping Willow. That's not the Whomping Willow. Temperance. Oh, she's beautiful. And a female devil. Look at that. Great. The Tower. Oh dear. Oh, but look, 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 look. Oh my. Hey, I wonder if those are the two children. Let's go see if they're the two children from the Hierophant card. No, not the same kids. That's a kind of ecstatic looking star card. Moon's looking pretty traditional. I like it though. And there's the sun. Judgment, that's kind of a happier judgment than I generally see in the world. So this, I think it's Pan. Check my mythology figure. Showing up a few times. Okay, Ace of Wands, and I like to hold my ace aside. The Two of Wands. All right, I often see a brighter palette in the wand suit, so this is interesting. I feel like it's a little darker than usual, and the purple is kind of, that's new. That's new for me. The Four of Wands. Five, nicely illustrated with the birds. Are those matches? I think they're matches. 6, 7, 8. I like this. I like the spiral, not just the, that's nice. You still see the movement. The 9. Yeah, she's been through it. She's a little cut up. And the 10. House in the back. All right. Okay, so I guess they're putting their court cards are separate. Okay, here's the Ace of Cups. I'll put that one to the side. Interesting with the little pentagram coin showing up in the cup suit. Two of Cups. And the 3. Oh, look at the mushroom and the fairy and the acorn hat. Oh my God. Cuteness. Oh, can you see these frogs? Do you see the frogs? Let me look at the frogs. They are... All right, that's fun. There's some real lightheartedness in that, those of the cup suit. 5 of Cups. I have drawn the 5 of Cups. This card is haunting me these days. That's interesting. I would have thought primary colors, but they've gone, that's green instead of blue. Interesting choices. 6 of Cups. Look at all the little bugs with the fairies. The 7 of Cups. Beautiful. 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups. That's intriguing. Or the 10 of Cups. So I feel like this deck, very much female heavy, but it is a witch deck, but it's pretty diverse. Yeah. There's the Ace of Swords. Put that over with my aces. 2 of Swords. 3. Pretty much traditional ways of looking at those. Sweet with the kitty. Oh, look, headlights. 5 of Swords. Oh boy. There's a story there. 6. Interesting the way she's holding the sword, or it's almost floating over her hands. 7 of Swords. The 8. Interesting the way she's floating over the water. 9. I hope you can hear the birds out there. They're just really going at it. 10 of Swords. Oh my, that's all on the poppies. Okay. All right, put them to the side. All right, we're to the Pentacles. And that looks like a little spider's web, so. But the spider's pretty small, so if you don't like spiders, I would not say no to this deck, because it's very small. I'm sort of a little confused. Are we going fairies with this one? I guess the fairies are just sort of intersprinkled. That's not a word. Interspersed. There we go. There's the 3. Interesting that the other 2 are a badger, gopher, and a fairy. Anyway, there's still 3. I'd have to spend some time with that one. It's not, I'm not getting it right off. This is interesting that it's 2 adults. There's the 6. This 7, that's it. Kind of fun. And the 8 with a crone. Working with the younger people. Interesting. I like the intergenerational energy there. And here's the 9, one of my favorite cards in almost every deck. And the 10. Okay, put that to the side. So we've done our minor. Now we're going to do the court cards, it looks like. Page of Wands. Okay, so wasn't I saying before I expect the wands to be more red, and then, but in the minor, they're this kind of blue and purple, right? That's really interesting, but they're going with this reddy orange color in the court cards. Cool. Put that to the side. Here's the cups, the page, the knight, the queen, the king, and the swords. So you can really feel the air energy with these. And last but never least, the pentacles. Oh, look how sweet. The little squash blossom for a cap. I really like all the fairy stuff in here. The fae, fairy. This is interesting. Okay. When I say interesting, I just mean, oh, that requires further thought and study from me. All right, this is personal information, but hubba hubba. Okay, let's take these to the side. Let's put, oh, wait a second, where did I put my Ace of Pentacles? Because I like to look at my aces together. There we go. I'll have to come up. So here we have our aces. That's nice. All right, let's look at these together, these 2 decks, see how they shuffle. That made my camera freak out. My camera's like, what do you want me to focus on? You're driving me nuts. As usual, Llewellyn decks, easy shufflers. I'm sorry, y'all. I love independent decks, and I like to support people, but you give me this kind of thinner cardstock in the standard tarot size so I can shuffle it, please. All right. That's not a really great shuffle, but it's enough. Okay, so here is this one. All right, and this is the larger oracle size, which is harder for me to shuffle, but I can usually handle the Blue Angel stock because it's not super thick. These edges are a little sharp, but I can still manage it. All right. Oh, look at that. I just shuffled it and it got a little bend. That's okay. Just shuffle it again. And then I'll shuffle it the other way, see if the bend goes back. Uh-oh, I've got a card reversed in there. Zing. Okay, one more shuffle, and then we'll look at them next to each other. I have a feeling they are not going to be as visually complementary. Yeah, it bends. This one bends a good bit, this Blue Angel Oracle deck. Okay, let's maybe a little over there. Okay, so let's just sort of take a look at some of these together, and then we'll do I'll just stop someplace randomly and we'll read from the guidebook so you get an idea. Well, they both really have a telling a story, telling a fairy tale almost energy to them. And I was sort of hoping for that. The artwork is, oh, of course, somebody's doing some mechanical thing out there. Sorry about that. It was quiet when I started. And this one has a physical texture, and this one you can see the texture of the artwork. So they both have a feel to them that I like. So sometimes you get a pairing one, it's like, oh, those are definitely different decks, but overall, I feel like they kind of work. All right, let's look at the meanings for these two cards. I just stopped on those really for no particular reason. And let's just see how they read. Now, I didn't shuffle in reversals with this one or this one, but I do feel like, since this is an oracle deck that has reversal meanings, I think you would do well to shuffle in reversals with that oracle deck. And then the tarot, I would just say, you know, whatever it is that you do, whether you read with or without reversals, you do whatever you like, but the book has got reversal meanings. Okay, I don't think I'm going to read this whole thing. That just feels like too much. We'll just read the quick one. You can hit the pause button and read it for yourself if you like. I'll just check and make sure I've got this. So you can, yeah, you can read that. All right, so we'll just say we picked it up. Forgiveness of self and others, restorative actions to reweave balance and good feelings between people who matter to you, willingness to let go, give way, or transmute what is no longer in any way useful or good within your life. Opportunity to harvest and clear the field, giving thanks, saying farewell, and knowing it is possible to do both simultaneously. Okay, and then that came up with the Six of Cups. So let's take a look at that one. And it is that the usual really beautiful Llewellyn full color books, you know, full size. You don't have to squint to read the text. It's easy to see. And they've got a astrological correspondence, right? They've got Sun in Scorpio for the Six of Cups. And again, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let me get it squared up so you can read it for yourself. But if you want to hit the pause button, you can, and take your time with it. Fairy favors, cups delight, between the fairies who rest from flight. Tucked beneath a garden den, sweet remembrances warms the fen. Okay. So they're in a subterranean chamber beneath. And the quick meaning, upright, giving and receiving. I'll pull that down. Giving and receiving, gifts from the heart, memories, happiness, and comfort. The feeling of coming home to what you love, connection and gratitude, happiness and delight, offerings of love. Oh, that's interesting. So they're giving you guidance if you get a reversal, how to write the reversal, which I would say in general, it's an interesting thought. Sometimes we just have to sit with that reversal energy though. All right, so they both have a sort of duality aspect to them, both of these cards, but different. It's like they're similar. I think they could play with each other, these two ideas, forgiveness and justice, and this memories and happiness thing. Yeah, I think they balance. All right, so that is it. Let me see if there's anything. Oh yeah, I was going to take a look at this artwork and see if I could tell you something about Lady Victoria. See if they give us any information about the creation of this artwork, because that's always interesting, right? Oh, let's see. Here we go, about the artist, 177. Lady Victoria, visual artist working in acrylic paint. She makes her home. Okay, she's in Canada. But what is it? Her regular sojourns in nature, mythopoetic, poetic realm, motherhood dreams. Okay, yeah, she's not really talking about the medium that she used for this deck, which is too bad. I would have been interested in that. But 'tis a mystery. It does look to me like this was something that maybe was painted on canvas and then turned into whatever they do with it. Yeah. Okay, I think these are beautiful decks. It remains to be seen how well they work with each other and play with each other. It's certainly something I'm looking forward to exploring. I think the cardstock is easy to handle, and I am excited to have these in my collection. Thanks for stopping by and looking at it. If you have either one of these decks and you want to share something with the community, please put it in the comments below, and I sure do appreciate the likes. Thanks. Bye-bye.